What's your take on the economy and the exchange rate?
The economy is not doing well. The economy is in a devastating position because people, as I said, the economy, first of all, is not inclusive. It's the big boys playing with money around and playing with ideas and opportunities and these gaps and where's everybody else? You find that in the midst of poverty, somebody is able to buy a Lamborghini. Somebody is able to file and all do that. But we should not forget to give credit that the economy is generally transformed such that a lot of wealth and influence economically is now in the hands of the ordinary people. Yeah. I mean, if you see a Land Cruiser today, most likely there's a black person driving that Land Cruiser. A couple of decades back, you'd not see a black person do that. So we need to balance things rationally. To say the economy is not doing well, but the economy, I believe, has done good strides in empowering a certain number or class or percentage of black people, at least. But generally, in our view as the NAP, the economy could do better than what it is doing now.
Now let's move on to the electoral system.
Yes.
And the environment.
Yes.
I didn't want to say some political parties, but the opposition mostly is complaining that the play field is not level. That's number one. Number two, like I said earlier, that there are complaints already that ZEC is not fit for the job. Number three, I want to find out from the lenses of NAP, what you think as a country we need, because every time that we go for an election, we see there is violence, there is, what do we need to do as a country to make sure that there is no violence?
We've got a big problem as a nation. Yeah. And it's a deeper problem that people think. You see, elections are just a culmination of a bigger process. Elections are just like you sitting for your examination O level. It's a culmination of what you did from the first day that you went to school. We are focusing on elections and not the process. So, first of all, we need to ask ourselves, what do we want to achieve with elections? It will guide us on what we must do. How do we have elections in the first place where there is no debate of the candidates? How do we have elections when we are not concerned about the electoral processes of how a person can join a political party? I was telling my colleagues today that, do you know that your ministers come from people who decide to join political parties? All the smart people don't want to join politics. Then the brave, the radical, the hardliners join the politics. And what happens? They are elected into office. They are the ministers. How do we follow an electoral system when we do not have a national ideology? Who are we? If you stand on this side of the electoral side, you are Western funded. If you stand on this side, you are a puppet. We do not have our own ideology. So the process of elections, unfortunately, will not do for us much until we begin to understand the whole process of elections.
Some have said, let's suspend elections for a period, agreed period, and allow people in various political parties to form some form of government that will take the country
do you realize that you are already struggling to define it, to form some form of government? With what structure? Who will lead? Who will do what? That's impossible.
It's more like the thing that you were talking about.
Mr. Hlongwane, we have got to approach this thing with a full understanding of what we want to do.
Yes.
And be very honest about it.
What is it that we want to do?
If we are going to allow an election system to be able to use it to choose people that lead us, the system must produce leaders. Do you understand?
Yes.
You cannot use an electoral system to produce anybody and then you call them leaders. You understand? We have got to understand what we are doing with elections. Mind you, elections is not a native concept. It's a concept that we took on board. Mind you, elections can be manipulated to achieve something. Is that what we want? Yes or no? But what I'm saying at the end of the day, whatever that we want as a nation, if we wanted to come out of elections, there are things that we must begin to address. How do you join a political party? I'll give you a simple example now. A political party is a voluntary organization,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
You join a political party, you are elected as minister, you are now in government. And then you mess up in government. If I am the leader of that organization and I fire you from government, we will still meet at the political party. Now I'm thinking, if I fire him in government, we will meet in politics at a political level. And because the political party is voluntary, it's different. The power that I have on you in the party is different from the power that I have in government. So already you are causing problems in your political party. So you find that people may not do so well in government. But because of the political connections that they have, Mr. Hlongwane is the person who has been funding the political party. And because of that, he has stood for us as a candidate. And he has won. Now he's looting in government. If we fire Hlongwane from government, he will say, but I've been funding your political party. This party has been doing well because of me. At a political party level, it's different from government. So there are a lot of things that we need to realign. Again, I'll give you an example. A person who has never been in politics, does not own anything, does not have anything whatsoever, suddenly is in government, is a minister, and you are supposed to control the big boys. You are supposed to regulate the big boys. Will we have the power, the ethos, the strength? So we need to really look at our politics holistically and adjust and correct a lot of things so that they suit our national agenda.